All right, guys. So this has been a long work in progress. This being 5010. So 5010 is a camper that we import from Germany, and reputation of it has been that it is kind of the biggest, baddest option in the overland space. And so I talked to some people in the industry and Brian at Goose Gear, and thought that we should start building them. Primarily focused on the Prospector XL platform from AEV, and so we bought a shop truck a couple years ago and started to do some development on that. And this is build one from the AEV Prospector, we'll call it like batch that we're doing. So we're doing 3 trucks, the shop truck, this one, and then one more. This truck has been built now since March. After March, it went to Death Valley for a shakedown run, and the owner absolutely beat the living shit out of it. So we got a good idea kind of what Death Valley can do to one of these builds. And truthfully, the camper and all of the work that we did came out great. We did have some of the factory components that came from AEV and RAM get rattled loose, but that all got taken care of. One of the complaints about these trucks for a long time has been the tire options for them. So we were able to get the owner, after his last trip, the new HD terrains from BFG, and those are a night and day difference. It's pretty wild. The truck feels so much better, it turns better, it just cruises better, stops better, all around. Like, it's the tire that should be on these trucks. So that's pretty rad. This truck's going to Alaska this week, and so we had it back, added some stuff, and so I'm going to walk you guys through fairly quickly in this one, because I do need to deliver this, but I wanted to get some stuff for you guys before it went home, show you some of the stuff that's going on. So real quick, I think you guys saw me pop all of the latches. So these are all electronically activated. It's all tied to the vehicle's system. So key fob, lock it, none of the locks work. Unlock, they all turn on. There is KC Cyclone lights in all of the cubbies. So you can see this one right now illuminated. And in there we've got the sponsored by Wifey air system. The owner of this vehicle has another truck we built for him, AEV Gladiator with canopy camper. We did that system for him and he loved it, and it makes a lot of sense on this build. So we had Al get that in before this trip. On this side of the truck, this is the kitchen setup. So you've got a ton of storage. We got Brian to do kind of a custom Goose Gear setup with black anodized and the bamboo. This is a kitchen counter basically that comes out and has the Snow Peak IGT setup in it. So this gets mounted basically at this height right here. Thanks, Noah. Goes in here, put some straps here to here, and then you can drop your burners in and do some cooking outside. So really cool, sleek setup. This is something that Brian and I worked on to get it a little tweaked from when he had it in his truck. There was previously no place to store it, and now this slides away right here and tucks away like nobody can see it. And then this will keep the pressure on this guy to keep it closed. So ton of cooking storage. You have this massive drawer. This opens on the inside as well, so if you're inside and it's bad weather, you can cook inside. We've also got a hatch right here that can be opened from the inside for that top portion. So all the storage on the outside is also accessible on the inside. Right here we have shower or kitchen sink hookups. Hot, cold water taps, quick connect with a faucet that has a shut off on it. So if you want to take a shower over here, you can. If you want to just use it for dishes, you can. That's connected to a Truma Eco Combi D. That's tapped into the diesel fuel tank. We left a pretty significant amount of space for reserves on that fuel tank, so that if you ran that for weeks, you couldn't ever consume all of the diesel in your tank. Speaking of gas tanks, we added a Titan tank, 52-gallon fuel tank to it. So we've got that guy going in there. That added quite a bit of range. This truck's getting, we drove it to Flagstaff and brought it to the show, and we got about 14 miles per gallon with it, which is pretty amazing. And that was before these tires. So I'm gonna drive it down to San Diego today, and we're gonna see how it does with the new tires. That'll be the longest trip I've done in it. Kind of call this the garage. Just tons and tons of storage. A little too small for a set of Max Tracks, but those Max Tracks are up on that Alucab wood box. But again, another item that's push button, and you can use this to store things like tools. We got his jumper cables in there. The step in the back door is actually something that he's requested we change. 5010 changed the design of this. You guys have probably seen a single door most commonly, and it doesn't work great with the truck that's on 40s. So we're gonna go ahead and do a single door and set up a nice ladder. Stepping inside, you guys can see we've got a Dometic marine fridge. You guys can see the ducts down below for the heat. We've also got ducts up top, kind of in the trim pieces. So this thing will get really, really warm quickly, but also evenly. You're not going to have super hot zones. There is a room temperature sensor in the back of the camper, but I think, you know, we've tested this in the shop. It was like 49 or 50 in the morning, and we were able to get the truck to about 80 in 7 minutes. So it definitely works, and it's extremely efficient. We have a wrap-on toilet in here, and on this side, we've just got tons of storage. So big cabinet to be able to throw bags, whatever it is, just a lot of open storage. The lagoon table right there actually stores inside of this, similar to that cooking surface. Electrical, tons of USB ports with USB-C, fast charging. That's all managed by a REDARC system. We added a BC-DC 1250 to it to supplement it, so we actually have 80 amps of charging. There is 360 amp hours of batteries in there. The water tank down below is about 23 gallons and monitored by the system as well. We've got a 2000 watt inverter in there with a connection right up front. He likes using a panini maker at camp, and so we've got that in there. He's able to get that panini maker to about 600 degrees in 4 minutes to make a steak at camp, which is honestly a pretty damn good idea. We've also got rigid lights on both ends. Those are in amber. Those are my favorite light for the side of a camper. That's actually the amber color, but when you're just looking at it, it looks white right now, which is pretty cool. Keeps it nice and clean. Location for that 40-inch spare, so that fits right there. We've also added a Sherpa roof rack since it left last, and then the Alucab wood box is the recovery box. So he's able to keep a ton of stuff up in that. It is accessible from inside the truck. And then Noah, I'll have you jump in so that you can show them the radio setup that we did for him. So this is something we added this trip for him. We've got a Yaesu, I believe it's the D500 or 5000. It's color screen. You can listen to 2 bands at once. You have a speaker, a 9-watt speaker in the head right there that he's showing you. And then we've got an iPad mini mount there, GoPro mount, and then a magnetic mic mount for the handheld portion of that. Noah, if you lift the center console up, you'll be able to see where the brain of the unit is mounted. Pretty sneaky. The owner likes having the ability to take that radio down when he's parked. Kind of like the old school 90s radios where you could detach the faceplate, just so, you know, thefts aren't as interested as they should be. But again, if you look at the truck, I think it's either going to be overwhelming or really exciting for a thief. So we'll see how that goes. We've talked about doing some Goose Gear seat deletes in the back. Right now, we just have the factory seats back there. There you go, Yaesu 500D. So that's the model. And we've got that with the Mars mod on it. The antenna that we did has the capability of doing GMRS. And that's kind of the quick walkthrough. So, you know, quick explanation of the sleeping quarters. One thing that's really cool about it is because the cab is so long, you end up having the bed stop about here. which allows for you to keep the bed down and still walk around, use the toilet, things like that. So very, very cool setup. The plan was to take an Alaska trip with our shop truck, this customer, and the other one that we're in the process of building right now. So I think hopefully we get to do that soon, probably next year, I hope. So David can do the work and scout for us, find some good spots, and that's what this was built for. So big long trips, lots of comfort, and obviously it looks rad too. So appreciate you guys watching, and if you guys have any questions, please reach out. You can message us. I'm Daniel, founder of Tiny Rig. Noah's behind the camera. If you guys have any questions for any stuff, it doesn't need to be crazy build like this. It can be just armor, suspension, for any vehicle. We can help you guys out. Take care.